Hello and welcome to Alex Bites. I'm your host, Alex DeLinar, and welcome to another cast of Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. Today I've got another 1v1 ladder cast. It's between CommanderDiva and Qfwfq, also known as Thomas, on the map of 4-Leaf Clover. As always, critique, comments, and feedback is always welcome wherever you feel like posting it on the internet. If you type my name loud enough, I'm sure I'll hear. That's all the introductions I've got. Let's go ahead and hop into the game. Let the game begin. So, let's split off our map and get an idea about what players are doing on both ends of their map. Up in the top left side, we've got CommanderDiva rocking the blue Aeon stripes, and in the bottom right, we've got Qfwfq, who also used to be known as Thomas, and that's what I shall continue to call him, rocking the red Aeon. So it looks like we have two players, both following the way, but they couldn't decide on the best way to do it. So of course, the only way to resolve that dispute is with a gentlemanly game of war. So it looks like, let's just speed this up in the very beginning portion there. We've got them both starting off as land. A little bit of pause there. Phone calls are important. This is, after all, just a game, and you don't want to miss anything important going on in real life. So it looks like they're both going on with a pretty similar strategy there, going land and then power. It looks like he's gone for a power generator, whereas Thomas here... Alright, we're going for the Hydro build, is that right? I am still learning how to best implement that in my own strategies, and I forget that Hydro is a thing. So let's zoom out as these players are slowly making their way outside of the map there. Looks like we've got first land, second air going up for both players. I hear that's a very reasonable thing for Aeon players to do. Or actually, it looks like CommanderDiva here might be going for 2 land factories to start off with, and then his air factory. Looks like he's got a little bit of diversification going on. His commander is not going to be assisting that hydrocarbon. That is okay. Speaking of which, where has Thomas's ACU gone? It looks like he's going for a very early reclaim in the middle. So let's go ahead, split that map up. We've got the early build going on. It's time to keep an eye on the map because these guys are starting to roll out. We've got a small little scouting party there coming up from CommanderDiva, whereas Thomas here is going for that nice juicy reclaim in the middle. Now it looks like the stuff here, you'd think that'd be pretty significant there, but it's not showing up on the reclaim radar. But at the very least, we've got probably 1,000 mass sitting in here, even more. Yes, math-wise, that is definitely 1,000 mass just from what I'm seeing. Okay. And we're going to have this little raiding party going through. If these guys run right into him, that little party is going to be cut off before it even has a chance to shine. As we've got Thomas here going to take his entire side. It looks like CommanderDiva, a little bit slower to the punch, is also considering the same thing. As we have both of these players just slowly starting to make their way out on the map, it looks like the air has gotten out a little faster for Thomas here. He's got his bomber and scout out before Diva has even got a single one in production. It looks like he's going for an interceptor to start off with. Let me double check that. Yes, that is indeed an interceptor, so that bomber, while it will get some damage done, is not going to last long if CommanderDiva has anything to say about it, and he does. Those shots go down, and is that bomber getting a bomb off? It looks like, sadly, not. That bomber, gone before his time. So it looks like that little early pressure there from the air has been shut down, and both players are stabilizing with a slight interceptor advantage going to Thomas there. If he can hold that, it looks like he might be enjoying air superiority. We'll check in and see how that goes. Meanwhile, we have Thomas here, having scuttled some of the stuff inside the middle there, is deciding to set up that mass extractor and set up a little early point defense to protect this portion of his map there. But it looks like we've got quite a bit of early land pressure. That double land opening from Diva here, showing why that is helpful here with the stream of land units coming in, with not much to counter it from Thomas here. So he's going to have to be aggressive with that commander if he wants to keep this alive. But CommanderDiva, perhaps spotting that vulnerability here, is going to go ahead and pressure this. Most likely that point defense is not going down, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, it looks like that does go up, but it promptly gets shut down, so it didn't have a very long life. Poor thing. Died faster than a horsefly. As we have Thomas here being shooed off by CommanderDiva there, who definitely has the advantage. We have a bomber streaming overhead, and indeed we do have that air advantage definitely showing itself off for Thomas there. Those interceptors came in perhaps to shoo away that bomber, but that bomber will live to bomb another day and shut down these land units slowly but surely, except of course for the Thistle. Yes, the Thistle there, who's already got a few kills to his name there, so he's definitely having a fun time shooting away those guys, but there's just not enough Thistles there to show off. as Thomas is able to shoo away that land force for now and get his commander out alive. But it looks like he's angry, man. He's out for blood. He's going to go ahead and take that again, and he will not be deterred. But you know what? He better get deterred, because these are superior numbers. And away he goes yet again. So we're just going to go ahead, keep an eye on that unfolding battle there, and let's just not forget to actually pay attention to what's going on in the rest of the map. We've got a little interceptor engagement as Diva here. Ooh, holy crap, hang on a second. Let's focus back on that battle there. Thomas here getting away with under 2,000 health while he tries to chase Diva away with his own tanks there. So both of these players are playing with fire with their commanders there, just barely getting out with their lives. Oh boy, we've got Diva here at the end of that engagement with about 2,800 HP, and Thomas here with about 2,000 himself, perhaps worried about his low health, is now going to be upgraded to tier 2, both as a benefit for having that upgraded tech and for the health bonus it adds to the commander, and I can't blame him. I'd be worried too. He does have the air advantage though, and Diva here has absolutely, well, not much chance of making use on that, actually countering that air game. So he hasn't much to worry about in terms of commander snipe, but certainly I'd be worried if I were him. And meanwhile, it looks like he's recovering a little bit in the land, and even has managed to sneak in a raiding party here to take on CommanderDiva's side, who has yet to even try and build up there. But they'll take the long way around and maybe be able to take care of those mass extractors. Meanwhile, he has claimed his entire side of the map. We can see the mass income here starting to show that. He's at 39 versus 25, and has got about 1,000 mass lead on him so far. Let's just go ahead and take a look at power levels real quick. Thomas here is actually tanking on his power, so he might want to think about getting some up. Diva, on the other hand, is quite comfortably sitting on a very big power thing here. He's also built a few energy storages, so he's got overcharge to spare, but also so has Thomas. So they're fine. And he's sitting up at 3,200 health now. Oh, 5,000, so he's sitting pretty comfortably. As we have a minor little bomber skirmish in the middle there, it looks like he is definitely trying to make use of that air lead that he has and just continuing to punish these land units for daring to exist. Let's see here, what else might be going on? You see here, Diva trying to compensate for the air disadvantage he's got has quite a few interceptors, or quite a few engineers supporting that interceptor production, as he just continues to spam out auroras and thistles, it looks like, to go ahead and counter that. What's that guy? Hang on a second, let's make sure. That, Diva, tell me your rules. Ah, he's got blazes. I somehow didn't notice that was a Tech 2 land factory, so yes, he's rolling out for Tech 2 to try and combat that land. The question is, does Thomas here have Tech 2 out himself? He does not. So he might start getting overwhelmed with that tech here, but speaking of overwhelmed, it looks like Diva here, perhaps noticing that little run by that Thomas finally managed to get around, he's decided that's a pretty good idea, and he'll do that himself. However, what he does not have is a counter to this bomber here, so these might not be long for the world. As these players continue to hold their commanders out in the middle of the field, these guys are very brave. But it looks like Thomas here with his Tech 2 is going to get an Oblivion turret. Apparently those aren't that great when you compare them to other races, but that's okay. We don't have to tell anybody. Oh wait, no, these are Aeon players. The Cybran tier 2 point defense turret, that's what's not that great. And it looks like Diva here, perhaps sensing blood, has decided to go ahead and chase Thomas off yet again, who continues to try and build here, but just continues to get shooed away. I'd be so sad if I were him. But eventually, he'll make that his home. It's really all he wants in his life. And he's chasing him away, and this is quite a dangerous position for Thomas to be in. I'd be worried if I were him. He's got a lot of Aurora turrets chasing down his back, and he might actually not be long for this world, but Diva here is going to want to step back, because if that commander explodes, then Diva's going to go out with it. Diva, just run your commander back, man, it's fine. But sadly, he chooses not to. He smells blood and just couldn't pull himself away. And he took out Thomas's commander, but paid for it with his own life. So we take a look here at the units, and everything paused because both players died here. And that blinding explosion from both of the commander wrecks there. You know, these units are going to be glad that they self-destruct here in about 5 seconds. Otherwise, the health bill from trying to fix that eye damage would be overwhelming. And there we go. We have a match here between Thomas and Diva. I think technically Diva would have won that one, but he just had his commander too far forward there, trying to shoot down Thomas's commander and paid for it with his life. Overall though, if Thomas just stopped trying to take that little spot there, he might have been able to get away with his life, because he definitely had a domineering position from the looks of it, but alas, he wasn't able to capitalize on it. And one thing that I wanted to try out with these replays was to go ahead and do another go through of it on ×10, so we can get a nice little view of the battle going through the entire way. So, without further ado, let's launch into that. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and bump that up +10 and get a nice wide view at the battle as everything unfolds. We can see both players just starting their builds there, setting up with their initial factory setup there, things starting off pretty even there. If we actually stay on mass income there to go ahead and get an idea of what both players are doing, we have a pretty advantageous position starting up for Thomas there with a nice little expansivist mindset there, getting a nice early mass boost there. We can see the land spam starting there, shooing him away. This commander, 3 times he tried to take the position, and 3 times he got shooed away. So, but you know what they say about the definition of insanity. Sometimes you just gotta keep going at it. As we see here, we've got a nice little radar going up there for CommanderDiva, and promptly getting shot down by the bombers, so perhaps not that great for him overall. Got the radar system here going unchallenged by Thomas there. Intel, very nice to have, and certainly not to be underrated. This position getting shoot away, but it really makes you wonder there. Diva, you had the opportunity here so many times to go through in this little category there. That would have kept that income a little bit more balanced there. But then again, there were a lot of bombers on his tail. There's a very good chance he wouldn't have been able to keep those units alive as they streamed through. But either way, this little clove there, certainly paying for itself. As you see, anti-air turrets there. Yep, to go ahead and combat the air advantage that Thomas has. Another attack here coming in. Diva here, this little attack path here that he does, he just, he wins that one every time. And there we go. He's gotten blown up, and replay over. So I've hoped that you've enjoyed this match between Thomas and CommanderDiva on the map for Leaf Clover. This has been Alex Bites, and I am signing off.